is your stance on gun control?
My stance on gun control is there should be a little bit more stricter laws than there are now. I just feel like there's a lot of leniency on who can buy and use guns.
Hi, I'm Natalie Benight. I'm an administrator at Bastrop County High School. My stance on gun control is that every American has a right to bear arms.
Hi, I'm Miss Jones, social studies teacher here at SHS. My stance on gun control is not that I'm wanting to do away with the Second Amendment, but I want there to be stiffer regulations as regards to gun ownership and gun use.
My name is Jeff Wise. I'm a small business owner in Smithville, Texas. We're doing this project. My stance is I'm frustrated like most of Americans with all the gun violence that's been going on in the last several years, but I struggle with the proper course of action. In general, I feel like there are certain things that could be done, but they're difficult choices.
I'm Christina. I am a senior at Smithville High School.
Woo.
My stance on gun control, I definitely think that guns are necessary for people to protect themselves, but I think that automatic weapons or things that are for destruction and for harm should not be available to the public.
Well, gun control has a broad meaning. Everybody has their own definition of what they would like to see controlled. So my stance on gun control is the people that own the guns need to be the responsible parties, not the people who sell the guns or the people who have ill intent when they come across a gun. So everybody's definition of control is different, but my stance is as long as you're a responsible gun owner and you do the right things, there should not be any control over that. That is your liberty. It's your God-given right to have a gun.
Do you think we need stricter gun laws?
The gun laws are written in a way to protect the public, in a sense. So making them stricter is not going to prevent people that want to do evil from getting their hands on guns. It's just going to make it harder for people who are doing the right thing to get a gun. You have people that need guns for self-defense, home defense, and then you have people that have ill intent and want to do evil. Making the gun laws stricter is not going to prevent those people from getting their hands on guns.
I do indeed think we need stricter gun laws to prevent the mass shootings that we're having. The gun culture in the United States needs to be regulated, and I definitely do think there needs to be some gun control, and that's only going to be done through legislation.
At this point, I don't know. Hold on. I honestly don't know. I'm not really aware of the gun laws, but I definitely think that if people have access to any kind of automatic weapon, that is not good, because a lot of, I think, especially in our schools and in public events, people are not safe when people have access to those weapons. But I also think that people should have guns in order to protect themselves and their families. So I think that some guns are necessary.
Would stricter gun control laws prevent mass shootings?
I don't know if they would technically prevent mass shootings. I think that it would maybe have a higher probability of them less amount of gun shootings happening. But honestly, if somebody wants a gun, they're going to be able to find a gun and use a gun.
Stricter gun laws would not prevent mass shootings. People that are going to do evil are going to do evil. If you take guns away from the evil people, they're going to find a way to get guns. The people that have concealed handgun licenses can help prevent mass shootings, or not prevent, but be able to take a gunman out if a mass shooting were to occur.
I truly believe that stricter gun laws would indeed reduce the number of mass shootings in the United States. As a matter of fact, there was just a recent article out of Switzerland, and Switzerland, as some of you may know, Switzerland has more guns per capita than any other country in the world, even though they are a neutral country. And even though they have more guns in in their country, more than any other country, I say per capita, they have 0 mass shootings. So obviously there's something going on there that needs to be done.
What is your interpretation of the Second Amendment?
Well, that was an amendment to the Constitution to allow people to bear arms. And that's a right given to us by our leaders that were voted into office. So that's my interpretation. It's your right to bear arms.
I believe the Second Amendment stands for the right to bear arms, in which I have my concealed handgun license and carry.
Would more guns prevent gun deaths?
No, not at all. More people having guns leads to more people doing evil things, whether they obtained them legally or illegally. Reducing the number of guns, increasing the number of guns, there's always going to be gun deaths.
What is your definition of an assault weapon?
My definition of assault weapon is whenever you can hurt someone with the weapon that you have.
I don't know anything about guns. An assault weapon, a weapon you use to assault someone. I'm sorry.
Should all guns be completely banned from the U.S.?
No, that's just silly. Doing that would cause more havoc in this country than trying to do stricter gun laws or anything else to somewhat control the violence that takes place in this world. But banning all guns in the U.S. would create more of a problem than people having guns. You would have fights and riots in the streets if somebody tried to take their guns.
Hell no, all guns shouldn't be banned from the United States.
What do you think should be done to reduce gun violence?
I just think stricter laws when it comes to how you get a gun and what you have to do to get a gun would really help reduce gun violence as a whole.
Some things that could be done to reduce gun violence, first of all, is education is one. Another thing is a government-wide database, and people should have a certain time that they have to continue what we're doing today about the time limit from the time you want to purchase one till you get a gun. They should have a database regarding people who have been diagnosed with mental illness. There should be regulation on how much ammunition that you can acquire. There should be more done in the realm, of course, as we've seen over and over again, in the realm of mental illness, helping those that before they go off the deep end and kill someone. And so there's a lot of databases, government regulations that we could put into place that would help to eliminate gun violence in the United States.
I think to reduce gun violence, when people have mental health issues, guns need to be either put up, out of sight, out of mind, or put away. Also, if you're a convicted felon, there should be no way you should be able to get your hands on a gun.
Is there any way to reduce gun violence by not taking away guns?
I think one thing that could be done by not taking away guns is maybe just making everyone have some type of safety course. If they do own a gun, and they have to have their certificate of safety whenever, if they're to use a gun or have a gun in their arms.
Yeah, I think, more education about, stiffer penalties for people using guns that, or people, being negligent and leaving guns, with easy access, and more education along those lines. Beyond that, I don't know. We've got a culture problem, and I'm not sure how to solve it. I wish I did.
Some ways that we can reduce gun violence without actually taking away guns, of course, is limiting ammunition. Another thing would be that we're only going to sell certain kind of guns to people. We're not going to sell them military-grade weapons to lay citizens of the United States. Another thing that we could do to reduce the number of violence without limiting the amount of guns is, of course, through education. It's through establishing a database that lists people who are potential. And the other thing is that the military needs to step up and do their part. If someone's having issues in the military, then they need to be held accountable when that person has not been flagged and kills people like they did in Sutherland Springs down near San Antonio. That gentleman had been flagged several times, and the military, the Army, never turned his name in, and that could have been prevented. There's a lot of preventive measures. I know it's hindsight's 2020. We can always look back and see what we should have done, but we should take those things and learn from those, and just be strict around regulations.